Welcome back to the second edition of University Speaks, the show for students, by students. I'm your host, Devin Versimo.
And I'm Vanessa Lauren. Devin, October is coming on, and I cannot believe we're already in November. How's your semester been going?
It's been going well. A lot of studying, a lot of homework, not enough sleep. What about you?
Good. Fast. I can't believe that midterms have come and gone, but the holidays are here, which I love. I'm glad the weather is cooling down. I can do my favorite Vegas girl activities now, which is bundle up next to the fire.
The fire?
Yeah, it's very Vegas. It's very Vegas.
You better bring some hot chocolate.
Well, I like staying inside. How about you?
I love hot cocoa, but I definitely have to get out and let loose every now and then. Do you like to go fast?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Well, what's the fastest you've ever driven?
My dad's watching this, so...
All right, you don't have to answer that.
Okay, cool.
But if you're like me, the streets do not provide the outlet that the adrenaline junkie inside of me needs to go fast. So how do you tap into that need for speed? Well, legally, of course, inside of a real race car at the NASCAR racing experience. Check out my time down at the track. The NASCAR racing experience allows every racing fan's dream become a reality at 160 miles per hour. Whether you want to ride alongside a professional driver or take the wheel yourself, there are plenty of options for you to choose from to be as immersed in the racing world as you want. Todd Rasmussen brought me trackside at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway to get a little more insight to what the program involves and what really motivates him and his team.
We're really proud to work with a lot of charities. We work with, if you happen to have some disability, if you're blind or if you can't hear or if you're in a wheelchair, we have the ability to get anybody in a race car, no matter what age, no matter what life-changing event has happened to them, we're more than happy to give them the experience of a lifetime out here.
Prior to my ride, I approached pit road to get safety fitted. I put on my protective head/hair covering, followed by my helmet and neck brace before getting some hand sanitizer on my way to the passenger seat. I felt a little more at ease after talking with my driver and UNLV alumni, Chris Klein, a short track champion and rebel who has nothing but good things to say from his time at UNLV.
Wonderful campus, wonderful people, and I'm still proud. And I go to the Rebel basketball games, Rebel football games, and cheer on. And my business colors are Rebel colors. My fire suit's real close to Rebel colors, so still proud and really enjoy being a part of it. But for today, I plan on scaring you today, so be ready. Be ready to go for a ride in this thing, and we're going to have a blast.
And let me tell you, when a NASCAR driver says he wants to scare you, you should be nervous. And here we go. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. I'll see you guys on the other side.
All right, so go ahead and climb on in right there. You're good.
Fire it up. I'm Devin, and this is University Speaks. Six very fast laps later. Woo! Wow.
How was that?
That was incredible. Oh my gosh. It was too short, honestly. Give me more of that. That was incredible. Thank you so much for this.
Devin, thank you so much for coming out. We really appreciate it. This is just one experience that we offer here at NASCAR Racing Experience.
Well, let me tell you what. I checked this one off. I can't wait to experience more. But for everybody at home seeing this, hearing this, come check it out. It's truly an experience. I felt very safe in the passenger seat, and honestly, watching that again makes me want to drive even more. Be sure to visit NASCARRacingExperience.com to make your reservation for speed.
Dude, that looked scary.
It was, but it was a ton of fun.
How fast did you go?
Chris got us up to 160.
Dang. I love that Chris was like rocking the Rebel Red too. So proud. I love that.
Definitely. I got to give me one of those suits.
Yeah.
Well, from the speedway to the stage, we'll toss it over to Alexa for a local competition that took place recently.
Thanks, guys. Many events in our community had to be postponed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. However, following limitations, we are starting to see events return, including pageants. I attended Miss Silver State, a local preliminary pageant, where contestants were finally able to take to the stage everything that they had prepared for. Lights, camera, action, queens! Local Las Vegas pageants are safely making a return to the runway. After having to postpone due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Miss Silver State, a local preliminary pageant system for the Miss USA organization, was able to take place at Victoria Claire's Formal Wear here in Las Vegas, all while following COVID-19 safety guidelines.
I mean, we require masks in our store as everyone else. It's a very, you can't see from this angle, but very spacious, open store. I mean, it's so easy to socially distance here.
Before the Teen and Miss pageant began, the junior division took to the stage, a new category helping to prepare younger girls for when they are able to compete in older divisions. Areas of competition for the juniors included fun fashion, evening gown, and even on-stage question. All of the girls in the juniors division took home some level of crown and sash to show that each and every girl can be a queen. Shortly after, the teens and misses strutted down the runway, competing in activewear for teens and swimsuit for miss, evening gown, and on-stage question, where they were able to share their knowledge and insight.
I feel I always regret if I don't take chances and really push myself. Sometimes I tend to kind of stick in my own little comfort zone, so I do regret sometimes when I don't push myself, but I keep working on that as much as I can, and this pageant was something to push me out of my comfort zone.
Taking the crowns home tonight was Noelani Mendoza as Miss Red Rock Teen USA, Alexandria as Miss Southwest Teen USA, Chelsea Bailey as Miss Battleborn USA, and Sierra Evans as Miss Northwest USA.
I'm very excited. As I mentioned, I've been waiting for this for 5 years, and I'm glad that it's actually happening, especially with all the postponing and rescheduling because of the pandemic. I'm just glad that we're finally able to get it started.
Miss Silver State Pageants is preparing for another preliminary, hopefully in January of 2021, where you can catch who will head to Miss Nevada USA next. And if you're interested in finding out more information on how you can compete or follow along with these newly crowned queens, you can visit their website at misssilverstate.com. And whether you're preparing for the runway or even the upcoming holiday season, here's Vanessa on some tips and tricks you can do at home.
Thanks, Alexa. The holidays are here, and with them, the calories. Staying healthy all year long can be challenging, especially when we're about to gather around the table for some turkey. And I know what you're thinking. Vanessa, I have no time. Vanessa, I have no money. Well, now you're about to have no excuses. Check it out.
Y'all ready?
Meet Shantae Jackson.
Are you ready? Okay.
She is a dance fitness professional, and these are her body babes. When she's not busy motivating them with dance and fitness, Shantae spends her time teaching PEX classes to UNLV students.
It is literally one of my favorite jobs out of all of them because I truly just enjoy and love working with all the students.
Being passionate about fitness and students, Shantae wants to set the record straight on some common questions when it comes to healthy living.
Does it matter what time of day you work out?
It doesn't, because you have to do what works for you and what's best for your body.
Like if you're someone who's just starting out and things are hard for you, what are your words of encouragement, how they can adjust?
I like to give people an option. And when you're ready, progress into this. It's the same move, you're working the same muscles, and you're gonna get the same result.
A lot of students feel like I need to get money first before I can work on my fitness.
Right.
What would you say to those students?
Absolutely not true. That is just a negative self-talk conversation that we have with ourselves. If you know that you need to be healthier and do it, or you want to be healthier and do it, then you find a solution and you find a way to do it. To be active in your health and fitness, you just need to get your heart rate up for 30 minutes a day. That's like nothing. at the end of the day. A 1 hour workout is 4% of your day. So I'm asking you to do half of that.
You heard her. No money for a gym membership is no longer a good excuse. Shantae is going to show us a workout that anyone can do anywhere.
All right, so your first move is gonna be a basic squat, everyone. Head in line with shoulders, shoulders in line with hips in line with knees, and knees in line with ankles in every single move that you do. Now she's gonna slowly sit down into that squat and push back. If you notice, she's still properly in alignment here in this. Also making sure that you have weight into your heels. Come on back up for me, Kim. And when she comes to the top, she's gonna squeeze her butt nice and tight. So that's your strength move. You're gonna do that one for 20 seconds. Now, here's your second variation of this. You're gonna take your squat and you're gonna add in a jack to it. Take it down and bring it in. Give me 2 more, Kim. Take it down, bring it in. 1 more, keeping the chest lifted and bring it in. You're gonna do that move, 20 seconds. Then you're gonna move to this last. She's gonna sit down into that proper squat. Once again, if you notice, she took the time to get herself properly adjusted. And from here, she's gonna slightly pulse. What you wanna think of, there's a glass of water on top of your head, and you don't want it to fall over. You're gonna hold this, yes, for 20 seconds. Head over to Instagram and the UNLV website and check out our UNLV PEX program. We have so many class choices for you. Dance fitness, Zumba, conditioning, kickboxing, rock climbing. I mean, anything that you would want to do to get yourself active and get a credit for it, you can find it at the UNLV PEX program.
If you are not a student, you can still work out with Shantae and her Body Babes at the Millennium Dance Complex. For more information, follow them on all of their social media accounts at Body by Shantae. We love doing this as student journalists.
I know. Some other student journalists also are getting to do what they love over at Checkpoint XP. Dom has more.
Thanks, guys. Just like traditional sports, esports has a collegiate scene, and it is blowing up fast. As it grows, more coverage will be required. So who is covering collegiate esports right now? That would be Checkpoint XP on campus. CPOC, the show's nickname, is tackling the coverage of collegiate esports across many different games, like Overwatch, League of Legends, Rocket League, Call of Duty, and more. What happens when you combine collegiate esports with student journalism? You get Checkpoint XP on campus. Checkpoint XP on campus is a podcast and a platform for collegiate esports players and journalism students alike to showcase their skills. I spoke with the host of Checkpoint XP on campus, Norris Howard, to get his perspective on what the show is all about.
One of the biggest things that you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to have a body of work that you're going to be able to show any employer within the journalism field, and really even beyond that as well, media production and beyond. One of the coolest things about what's happening with esports in the collegiate space, at the very least, is that it's a growing industry. It's a growing thing. So there's going to be a lot of organizations in the very, very near future that are going to be looking for things like writers, video producers, social media people, journalists. There's going to be an opening for those things. As a matter of fact, you got more traditional publications that need esports writers as well. And so this is all something that I think you can learn here at Checkpoint XP on campus. And I think the opportunities to get involved and get known to people within the esports industry, you're not going to be able to get the level of access that we provide for our students.
As the collegiate esports scene continues to grow, Checkpoint XP on campus will expand alongside it. Norris's vision for the show is a future that won't require him.
Hopefully we're able to bring on even more students. We're able to have, even more interns, and really turn this into a product that belongs to you guys, that belongs to the students. I don't want to be the voice of it for its entirety. I want to appear, say hello, and give it to somebody else who is on the ground and doing the real reporting. That's what I want in the next 5 years.
If you're interested in joining Checkpoint XP on campus, get in contact with UNLV RMG. That's at UNLV RMG on Instagram or Twitter. They have all the info you'll need. The thing I love about Checkpoint XP on campus is that it gives students the opportunity to cover other students, and it gives me a sense of community. For more information about joining CPOC, you can also email rmg@unlv.rmg. For now, Checkpoint XP is being covered virtually until it's safe to be back on campus. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Tom. It's so cool that they've been able to go virtual and still get to do what they enjoy.
Yeah, virtual seems to be the word of the year.
Right? And I know students are really struggling with so many different things going virtual.
Especially one big event that Anna was able to catch up with some students on.
Thanks, guys. Since the end of the spring semester, those UNLV students that have graduated and those who will graduate in the fall have been awaiting to have their official commencement. A recent announcement by UNLV President Keith E. Whitfield reveals how the university is planning to have a safe commencement. UNLV President Keith E. Whitfield sent an email on October 7th stating that the 2020 spring and fall commencement ceremonies will be held virtually due to public health risks. Electrical engineering major Cody Jones says that he'd rather wait for his ceremony to be held in person so that his family could watch him walk across the stage.
It's a little disappointing in the sense that it's kind of like a thing for my family to do together. We all kind of can get together and enjoy my celebration since I am the first of my family to actually graduate college. But I do appreciate that they're trying to do something for the spring semester and the fall semester through going all this through this hardship.
On top of teaching first grade students online, Julia Seoni was disappointed to find out that she wouldn't be graduating the way she imagined.
I'm not really sure my family is going to be comfortable having a graduation because I did have a family member that passed away from COVID, so they're kind of really skeptical about it. So I'm not really sure, and it's really a big deal in my family because I'll be the first one to graduate from college.
Other students, like Jacob House, would have preferred to wait until it is safe enough for UNLV students to enjoy their ceremony in person, even if it meant waiting another year.
How do I feel about my graduation being online? I was definitely disheartened when I first found out that that was going to happen. I remember when things started shutting down and graduation was becoming such a question mark. The president at the time said, "You will get a ceremony at some point in the future." My cap and gown's still literally hanging up in my closet, just up there, thinking that maybe someday I'll get to walk, but maybe I guess I'll just have to fold it up now.
The spring and fall 2020 commencement ceremonies will be held on December 15th. Spring commencement will begin at 10 a.m. and fall commencement will begin at 4 p.m. While it might not be the ceremony students expected, with the coronavirus continuing to pose a risk, having a virtual commencement is the safest.
Thanks, Anna. And she's right. It seems to be the safest way to go about things given the pandemic has not subsided.
Right. And the pandemic has been a topic of conversation everywhere, especially since it's an election year.
They talked about it a lot during the debates, and I'm sure people will factor that in when they decided to vote.
That's right. Devin, it might just be me, but I feel like the topic of voting has been talked about a lot more this time around.
It's actually a topic that Katora was able to dive into.
Thanks, guys. This past election has been a unique one. I sat down with Dr. Jonathan Bradley, UNLV political science professor and Army medic veteran, about voter suppression and the Electoral College.
My first question for Doc was, when was the last time an election was this exciting? And then I inquired, would we even know election results on November 3rd?
So I've thought about that as far as the term excitement, because excitement can mean several different things. So I think I'm going to change your question a little bit to when there's been this much enthusiasm, because as many people would say this is exciting, would also say it's terrifying. So let's go with enthusiasm. And honestly, probably not since 2008. You saw the economic collapse of 2007, 2008, the movement for the polls, the anger over the invasion of Iraq, and the possibility of electing the first African American to office generated a lot of voter enthusiasm. So if you went and voted in Nevada and you early voted, or you vote on November 3rd, that vote will be counted that day. So we will see those numbers that day. But those ballots are not going to start getting counted till November 3rd, and there's going to be so many of them, it might take to the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th to get those fully counted. So we probably won't have total numbers nationwide until around November 8th or maybe even a little later.
Next, I wondered what was considered voter suppression, and would we ever have an election without the Electoral College?
Probably not. You would have to change the Constitution. You would have to amend the Constitution to do it. The Electoral College is written directly into the Constitution. To get it to change, you would have to change the Constitution. And the big stumbling block on changing the Constitution is it has to be ratified by 3/4 of the states, meaning that 3/4 of the states have to agree. But in order to do it, we would have to change the Constitution. And constitutional amendments are very difficult. You would have to see a massive groundswell of support from the people to push for it. And right now, it's such a complicated system. And as long as this election does not have a bizarre situation like 2016, most people won't pay that much attention to it. Voter suppression is actually preventing people from voting, right? The Electoral College is just not recognizing all the votes of all the people. A perfect example is Nevada. Nevada has 6 electoral votes in this upcoming election between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. It doesn't matter who wins by what. So let's say that Donald Trump wins Nevada and he wins it by 1 vote, 1 single human being vote. Then Donald Trump wins all of the votes. That is not voter suppression. That is just basically saying, your vote was great. You should have gotten 2 more, right? You should have gotten a couple more people out to the polls, right? You should have done a better job. Voter suppression is actually where you are denying people the vote. If you want to throw an election, you suppress the vote. You keep people from voting. You do this by limiting the ability for people to vote, by limiting voting booths, by making it restrictive how they can vote, by putting extra hurdles into voting, voter ID laws, by giving false advertisement and campaigning of saying, hey, don't forget to vote November 4th, you know. Your vote does matter. And where your vote really matters is your local elections. Look, I know that the presidential race is what's driving everybody crazy and driving them to the polls. But in honesty, the president's power over your day-to-day lives is actually rather minuscule. The people who have authority over you on a regular basis are your mayors, are your county commissioners, are your sheriffs, are your judges, your local elections. All of you, or most everybody who's watching this, is actually in either UNLV or CSN. Both of those organizations have student councils. Those are government organizations. And those government organizations have lots of power in both representing you and providing for you. They have day-to-day power on something that's very important to your education and what you do while you're on campus. Those are something you should actually be paying maybe more attention to than the presidential race, because they do have a day-to-day influence on you. So please go vote. Please pay attention to your local elections. Please get motivated into it. You know, it's not just a right, it's a responsibility. And the big thing is, I don't care who you vote for. I want you to vote. And if I can get you to vote now, chances are you'll vote the rest of your life. And our democracy depends on participation. It dies with apathy.
There may be people out there not pleased with the outcome of this election. They wonder, did my vote really count? People of all ages have gone out to vote in this presidential election, but it doesn't stop here. Don't forget to also stay involved with local politics, because they do matter. Voting is not only your right, it's your responsibility.
Last month was also Domestic Violence Awareness Month. The Jean Nidetch Women's Center observed October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. In the past, UNLV has hosted self-defense workshops, candlelight vigils, and have had resources available for students who have found themselves in intimate partner violence. However, COVID-19 has restricted these events from taking place this year. Although stay-at-home orders have eased throughout the Las Vegas Valley, many victims are spending more time with their abusers while the abuse remains behind closed doors.
That's right. And the Women's Center is hosting a Healing Through Connections virtual workshop November 10th from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Survivors will be given tools to guide them through the healing process. If you or someone you know needs assistance, contact the National Domestic Violence Hotline, 1-800-799-SAFE, or text HOME to the crisis hotline at 741-741.
Our du jour team recently visited local heroes of our community as they celebrated National First Responders Day. Take a look.
If anyone out there truly deserves a National Day of recognition and appreciation, we'd say it's first responders, tirelessly working to protect us all. So we're honoring them today because it's National First Responders Day. First responders come in all forms: emergency medical technicians, dispatchers, paramedics, firefighters, police officers, and more. These men and women risk their lives to protect and serve us. And when most of us run away from danger, they're the ones who run toward it.
Being a first responder means being out there in the community, ready to assist people when they need our help the most. A lot of times people call us when they're at their worst, and so we have to be at our best to be able to respond in an appropriate manner and help people when they need it.
First responders are ready every day and night to attend to emergencies. Even during a pandemic, they still have to answer multiple calls for service.
Sometimes we respond to very hectic calls and dynamic scenes, but we receive training. We're trained to perform to the best of our ability under stressful circumstances.
When a call comes through, the first priority is providing the service the community expects and helping in the best manner possible. Every day is a different scenario, and you never know what you may experience on the job.
It's pretty personal to me to be a first responder. The more calls and incidents that you go on, the part where your heart's racing out of your chest and your adrenaline's going super high, that gets a little bit better, and that part gets easier because you've seen so many good things, bad things, horrible things before that they don't really affect you the way they used to when you get on scene, and you're able to make more clear decisions.
The day celebrates their service as a national day of gratitude for the endless hours and around-the-clock service they provide to their communities.
We are definitely privileged to serve the people that we do and serve the communities that we do, and we love it.
Thank you to our first responders for the honor, courage, and sacrifices you make day after day. I'm Brianna, and this is Du jour, where every day is a holiday. Happy National First Responders Day.
We want to give all first responders our gratitude for keeping our community safe. If you want to keep up to date with Du jour, make sure to like their Facebook page at UNLV Du jour, that's JOUR, where every day is a holiday.
All right, before we get out of here, it's time for a game, put everybody to the test. The game, categories. The topic, hashtag fall faves. I'll start it off alphabetically with A. Autumn. No. Apple pie.
Boots. Candy corn.
Delicious food.
End of summer.
Fall. Can I do that?
Gourds.
Haunted house. I don't know.
In-laws.
Jelly beans.
And K is going to be for keep it going. David, if you want to join me. So
that's close enough.
This is going to be a game we want you guys to play with us. Send us your fall faves online on all of our social medias. It's University Speaks or at University Speaks UNLV. And we want to hear from you guys.
Let us know what your hashtag fall faves are. And until next time, we'll see you guys later. I'm Devin Verissimo.
And I'm Vanessa Lauren, and this is University Speaks.